Welcome to Talk of the Town Sunday's recap. It's Marathon Monday. It's your boy Jalen Diaz and your boy Payne Warnock. We're back at it again with some lovely content, some lovely stuff for y'all. This weekly episode of Talk of the Town, we'll be breaking down and discussing what we saw in the games. Check the description for the chapters. It takes you to any specific game that you desire. Payne has some things to get off his mind before we get started.
All right, this is very important, so everybody listen up right now. Nearly 70% of the people that watch these videos are not subscribed to the channel.
That doesn't make sense.
You heard what Jalen said. Weekly show. Get back here for next week and the week after that. Hit that subscribe button. We are here every Monday. Hit that subscribe button, like the video, ring the bell. Let's get right into the recap.
This was exciting. Yesterday was another exciting week, another great week of football. It's week 2. And just to start off, because this game was an electrifying game. It was an interesting game from the start to the end. But have you seen enough from Tua in Miami to consider them Super Bowl contenders? I don't know. How you feel about this?
It's like, I don't think so yet, but normally in a regular season where there's not ridiculous amount of talent in the AFC, I would probably say yes. You've got Josh Allen in the Bills, Herbert in the Chargers, Mahomes in the Chiefs. Like, these are generational talents. I don't think they're Super Bowl contenders just yet, but I mean, my God, we all sound like idiots for what we said about Tua. Coming down to a make or break year, and he's going crazy like this. I mean, it's ridiculous. He went for almost 200 yards in the fourth quarter alone. They were down 35-14, and they came back and won, led by Tua. He leads the NFL in yards and touchdowns right now. He's got insane weapons, but when you ask Super Bowl contenders, we have to acknowledge that Lamar Jackson just torched that defense. And not many teams are going to be able to choke away a game quite like the Ravens. They blew 4 fourth-quarter leads last season, and they're back on track to do more of that this year. The play calling on defense was horrible. The communication on defense was horrible. I'm going to be honest, I think I could have found Tyreek on one of those touchdowns in the fourth quarter. He was so open. Obviously, 200 yards and I think 4 touchdowns in the fourth quarter is ridiculous, but that was an incredible collapse by the Ravens. But I have to give all the credit in the world to Tua and the Dolphins for that comeback. And now they are 2-0, one of the only 2-0 teams in a season where most everybody has started out 1-1.
28 points in the fourth quarter.
Oh my goodness.
That's a lot of points, dude.
It's ridiculous.
From Miami, I see a deep, maybe you might see a good playoff run this year if they keep playing the way they're playing.
Yeah, I agree.
Tua had 469 yards yesterday. Damn, he had 6 touchdowns.
Yeah.
The DBs on the Ravens were literally just getting absolutely torched, burnt chocolate chip cookies, like whatever you want to barbecue, brisket, like name it all, dude. Personally, I wouldn't consider them a Super Bowl contender team because, dude, I mean, Lamar Jackson had a field day yesterday on the floor and in the air. So, he had 318 yards, 21 out of 29 for passing, 3 touchdowns, and he had 9 carries for 119 yards.
Oh, my God.
That is crazy.
Lamar, we know you deserve your money. You might need to get the hell out of there. You might need to get him out of Baltimore, though. I don't know. You see these play calls. You see this defense. He might need to pick up the phone and start calling elsewhere. I don't know. If that's what he's getting, they might have him go play defense with how bad they were yesterday. Another quick thing I want to point out was they went for it on 4th and goal from the 1-yard line, and they did not get it. Could have kicked a field goal, Baltimore. That's like 3 or 4 games I've seen already this year where they want to go for it on 4th and goal from the 1. I'm talking about many different teams where they want to go for it from 4th and goal from the 1, don't get it, and they end up losing the game. Indy did it last week and they tied. Denver did it last week and lost. Baltimore did it this week and lost. Totally different football game. They went 18 plays down the field, got it at the 1-yard line, and they got 0 points on an 18-play drive. That's unacceptable. Totally different game. Rip their heart out. And instead, you give them a stop.
Does the Jets double 2-minute drill comeback say more about them or the Browns?
Well, we expected 500 from the Browns without Deshaun Watson, right? Like, that was, that was a reasonable expectation. We didn't expect it in this extent. We didn't expect in this fashion of a ridiculous blown lead. So I think it says more about the Jets because they might just be starting to shift. Robert Saleh, the head coach, was not taking disrespect. He said, we're keeping receipts. We're not the same old Jets. And they showed heart, which is something I can't say many Jets teams have done recently.
Yeah, especially with Joe Flacco, bro.
Joe Flacco. 307 yards, 4 TDs. So I think it does say more about the Jets that they were able to pull this off because they didn't roll over when they definitely could have rolled over.
This team can be transitioned over to something different. Granted, it is the Cleveland Browns, so we don't know too much right now. It's the beginning of the season, it's early in the season.
Mm-hmm.
For all we know, they could lose for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
But from what I'm seeing, like you said, they were down 17-30, 2 minutes left. They're like, yo, we can either just, decide to we can get on the bus right now.
Yeah, right.
Or we can play this game to the clock until the final whistle blows. And they played to the final whistle blows, and they deserved that. 31-30, that's a win right there. That's a big win.
One of the more surprising things about this game was the fact that it wasn't really Jacoby Brissett that was making the mistakes. He did have an interception, but he played a decent game. Nick Chubb was ridiculous with his 3 touchdowns, but it was the Browns' defense that really was the collapse. That's not what we expected at all. We expected the defense to come out and do their thing, whereas the offense with Jacoby Brissett would be the question mark. Offense looked fine to me. I mean, 22 for 27 out of Brissett, 230 yards, touchdown, interception. And it's the defense that goes out there and gives up 2 scores in under 2 minutes. And if that's the case for the Browns, I think 500 is almost unreasonable. It looks like they're going to be somewhat worse than what we originally predicted. And it might not have anything to do with Deshaun Watson being out. It might have to do with the defense giving up 31 to Joe Flacco.
Can the Steelers rely on Mitchell Trubisky, man?
No. No. No, absolutely not. It has become clear to me after just 2 games, that he's not a starting caliber quarterback in the NFL.
Okay.
I was willing to give him a second chance, and he's doing nothing. But they can't move the ball. 21 for 33. He had 33 passing attempts for 168 yards. And Najee Harris cannot move the chains either. 15 carries for only 49 yards. There is a problem in Pittsburgh's offense. They're not doing enough. 14 this week. You got 5 turnovers last week and you scored 23. The crowd's chanting for Kenny Pickett. I agree with
you. After next week, if the offense is not showing any difference, I think bro, it's early in the season. Mitchell Trubisky is not set. Hopefully they just make the switch to say, hey, let's do it. Let's try. Because they can always result back to Mitchell Trubisky if it's worse than Kenny Pickett.
They don't really have great teams coming up. Browns and Jets, back-to-back weeks. Winnable games. What you got to do here is you got to win 2 in a row. Because you got the Bills and then you got the Bucks afterwards. Got to come out of that 500.
Yeah,
and if you can't come out of that 500, it's time for Kenny Pickett.
From the Patriots standpoint, though, truthfully, they're off to a slow start. But I mean, granted, it's only 2 games in. Honestly, their offense isn't looking too bright either. To see a 17-14 score, it's not pretty at all. I'm gonna take my sweater off for this one. After yesterday's performance by the Indianapolis Colts, I'm going to have a moment of silence for Matt Ryan and his future career there because he had 195 yards, 16 for 30, and 3 interceptions. Is this serious? You guys let the Jacksonville Jaguars shut you guys out. 24-0. No points, bro. After what we went through last week, no points.
You don't need to look at the stats, Jay. We suck.
You guys had 9 first down. I don't know what to say. I just don't know what to say. Did you throw your jerseys out? You still have your jerseys? We can have a bonfire this weekend.
Here's the thing, Jay. I don't have any Colts jerseys.
Okay,
because our franchise quarterback just decided to retire at 29 years old. Who are we drafting? Who are we hiring? You lose your franchise guy, and it's been 3, maybe 4 years without him. Jacoby Brissett couldn't do it. Phillip Rivers couldn't do it.
Well, I forgot that happened.
Carson Wentz couldn't do it. Matt Ryan can't do it. Plug and play? Clearly not going to do it. You don't draft receivers. You don't draft quarterbacks. You got Jonathan Taylor. That's great. But when everyone knows you're running the ball, you stack the box, you put in man-to-man coverage, and Matt Ryan's throwing 3 picks, it doesn't really matter how good Jonathan Taylor is. You know what I'm saying? They've got a great line, but if that's all they care about, obviously there's an issue. But let's just for ha-has, right? 2019 NFL Draft. With the 34th pick, the Indianapolis Colts select Rock Ya-Sin. Jay, who is that?
Who?
I have no idea. You know who got picked 36th? Deebo Samuel! Deebo! Two picks after! We could have had Deebo! Instead, we got Michael Pittman Jr. and Rock Ya-Sin, who's not even on the team anymore because he sucks!
What position was he?
Oh, Deebo Samuel, he plays wide receiver. Rock Ya-Sin, he plays cornerback. We have 7 cornerbacks. We have 0 wide receivers. What's this? Hold on, I'm looking a little farther down. What? Oh, A.J. Brown in the second round as well. That's
A.J. Brown.
That's cool. Oh, wait, who's this? Oh, DK Metcalf. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, who's it? Oh, Deontay Johnson. No, Rock Ya-Sin. I'm ready to chalk it up and go get C.J. Stroud.
C.J. Stroud?
Chalk up the whole season.
I mean,
I don't care. Chalk it up. I give up.
That's not a bad idea.
Frank Reich, the door. He shouldn't be allowed in the practice facility today. The door should be locked.
But I honestly put yesterday's loss on Matt Ryan, truth be told. If this continues on for the next 2 weeks, yeah. It's a lot of reevaluating that's gonna have to go on, and at that point, I'm not saying don't find me on this. Don't find me. But you guys might have to tank the rest of the season to get a quarterback.
I'm down to tank the rest of the season. What old quarterback that's past his prime is next? We got Rivers already. We got Wentz. We got Ryan. Who's next for next year? Who do you think? Should we just call him out now? Should we just recommend Ryan Tannehill? Let's bring in Ryan Tannehill next year. Another old bum that's going to underachieve for us. How about that? Why couldn't we have gotten Russell Wilson? Let's just play Sam Ehlinger. Why not? Just for fun. Let's see what happens, right? Who would have thought Tom Brady would be Tom Brady?
Have Sam Ehlinger.
Let's play Sam Ehlinger. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tom Brady. Yeah, who's this ass clown that's a backup for Drew Bledsoe? What's he going to be? He's a 6th-round pick. Who cares? Oh, 7-time champ, greatest of all time. Why not? Let's see what happens. It can't be much worse. Can't be much worse than 16 for 30, 195 yards, 3 interceptions. It can't be much worse, can it? Just to summarize, I'm disgusted. The Colts are pathetic. Frank Reich should be fired. Matt Ryan's washed. Hang it up.
Do we have leaders of the new school right now in the NFC East coming from the Giants? Are they ready? Is it really this time to shine? Is it?
No.
I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
I don't care what's happening. 2-0 or not, you play the sorry-ass Carolina Panthers.
Everybody watching, look at me in the eyes, all right? We're going to say it together, okay? Baker Mayfield sucks, all right? Your turn. Say it.
Baker Mayfield sucks.
That's good. That's good stuff, guys. Thank you for participating in that little exercise right there. Let's talk about the Giants because they did win the game. They're 2-0. Brian Daboll, 2-0 as a head coach. Daniel Jones is still not a franchise quarterback. He performed better than Baker Mayfield, which is not that difficult, but he did do it. 22 for 34, 176 yards, a touchdown. What's important, though, 0 interceptions from Danny Dimes. You got the Cowboys, you got the Bears in the next 2 weeks. This could be a 4-0 start for the New York Football Giants if we're keeping it real.
Definitely can be.
I mean, their schedule is not good. They might be the Eagles of this year. They beat all the bad teams, and when they play good teams, they lose, but they make the playoffs. And that's a successful year for a first-year head coach with Daniel Jones as the quarterback because he's not a franchise quarterback in my eyes. Maybe in the Giants' eyes he is. That roster is not great, but I could see the turnaround starting to happen, so I give him a lot of credit. And if Daniel Jones if they stick it out with Daniel Jones and he leads them to the playoffs, I can't say much.
I'm be real with you. This is another game that wasn't the most beautiful. Basically what it was is the Panthers would get to the red zone and they wouldn't finish. They were 1 for 4 in the red zone. 1 touchdown, 4 attempts. It's not going to help you. And yeah, all that I see from right here is field goal, punt, punt, punt,
Yeah.
punt.
I'm sorry to
Yeah.
all you Giants fans that are, expecting us to come on here and sing the praises of
Kudos
the
to you though.
Giants, but
Kudos to you though.
you
Leader of the East
have
right
to
now.
give you respect for 2-0 because there's not many teams that are 2-0, and the Giants are one of them.
Yeah.
I'm very
Yeah.
skeptical of your quarterback still, but Brian Dable doing a good job so far, and we'll see how long he can keep this up because they got some favorable matchups in the coming weeks.
Are the Bucks the clear favorites in the NFC right now?
I do think so
Mm,
because for one, the
mm.
NFC has little to no contenders. Like
Okay.
you look over at the AFC, loaded rosters, and even the rosters that aren't loaded have incredible quarterbacks. I'm thinking Mahomes, I'm thinking Lamar, and then you've got the Herberts and Josh Allens of the world who have great rosters around them. And in the NFC, I just don't see rosters like that. I don't see talent like that. And you look at Tampa, they are loaded. That roster is loaded. Their offense is struggling mightily right now,
I was gonna say, I
but
don't know.
the defense is insane right now. The defense has been shutting down Dak. They shut down the Saints yesterday. If the defense is going to play like that, I think, using prior knowledge, I think I trust Tom Brady to kind of figure it out and get the ball rolling a
Yeah.
little bit. I don't know. I might be going out on a limb there to say I count on Tom Brady. The Bucks forced 5 turnovers. It goes back to what I'm
Yeah.
saying about that defense. That defense is really, really good. They had Dak Prescott, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, rattled last week. He looked bad. I know Jameis was hurt, and he probably shouldn't have been playing, but they had Jameis rattled as well, taking the ball away quite a lot. They only had
3
one offensive
interceptions.
touchdown. They only had one offensive touchdown, one defensive touchdown as well, and then the 2 field goals. But I mean, just a big time performance out of the Bucks. It was 3-3 after the third, and they ended up scoring 17 in the fourth quarter to ice the game.
Yeah, I mean the defense, like you said, Jameis Winston was doing so good not turning the ball over, and then we come into week 2, and then
I was
now you got
gassing him
three.
like crazy, and that's what he does.
Now you got 3 interceptions. I mean, you can see from the Bucks though. The reason why like you said, it's early in the season, but I'm skeptical about it right now is because like you said, you can see a lot of the emotions and the demeanor on the field right now. You got Tom Brady slamming tablets on the sideline again. It's only the second game of the season. He's already slamming tablets on the sideline. He looks all
But he
grumpy.
wasn't just watching it; he just picked it up just to throw it.
Yeah, literally picked it up just to throw it. Like it didn't even make sense.
He's
Like
like
I was
badass
like,
kid.
and then you got Mike Evans on the field fighting with Marshawn Lattimore. So those are things that are critical, truthfully, because you can't let if you're already second game in, these emotions are already taking over, and you're out here doing things that you shouldn't be doing that you normally don't do. Then it's questionable. But like you said, second game of the season. As long as this defense continues to play the way they're playing, we do expect Tom Brady to eventually figure it out. We're gonna take it over to good old Detroit. Are they turning it around, Peyton?
The foundation of the turnaround is there,
Okay.
but these things don't just happen.
No.
They'll win some games this year. They'll improve, but they're not really a good team just yet. Jared Goff still isn't your franchise quarterback. He
I
had a
mean,
great
4
game.
touchdown
I'll give him
passes.
credit for that. He had a great game. 20 for 34, 256 yards, 4 touchdowns. Doesn't change the fact that he's not a franchise quarterback. He's young, so maybe they see him as that. They can keep him, but I don't think he has the talent to lead this team into a full turnaround into
Yeah.
contendership. Amon-Ra St. Brown
Yo,
might be the piece for Detroit. He might
I
be
was just
the
about to
guy.
say.
9 receptions, 116 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's been balling out. Aiden Hutchinson with 3 sacks yesterday as well. You hit with a pick like that, I could see the turnaround starting.
Yeah.
Like I said, it doesn't happen right away. It doesn't happen in 1 year. You still have 2 teams that are clearly better than you, Bears who are looking to progress. But over time, I could see it.
I like you said, like it's definitely the foundation. I think it's a good win for them because honestly, the Washington Commanders aren't really a bad team right now. I would say, from the standpoint of Lions being the guys, I don't think so. But Lions building a foundation, yes, and not saying their quarterback Jared Goff is a franchise quarterback, but who knows? Maybe he figures it out in Detroit. He's not old. He still has some years in him if he can progress. But as long as they keep keep trotting forward, keep doing the positive things, and hopefully they can definitely get something out of there because it has been a rough couple years for them
Yeah.
boys. What should we expect from Jimmy G leading to the 49ers for the rest of the season, you know?
You expect a quarterback that plays just good enough. They'll win 10 games, 10 plus. They might even win the division. When Jimmy Garoppolo has to make the winning play, you're going to lose. So you have to hope Kittle gets healthy. You have to hope Debo is on his best behavior. You have to hope he's playing great like he usually does, because once it comes down to Jimmy Garoppolo, you're going to lose the game. This roster is loaded. They have the talent to be champions, but they have Jimmy Garoppolo. Can Jimmy Garoppolo lead them to be champions? I don't think so.
Jimmy G put up his typical average numbers yesterday, honestly. He went 13 for 21, 154 yards, and that one touchdown. That is honestly his stat line right there. I've never ever seen him go off for a crazy explosive throwing game. And I don't expect to ever see him go off for a crazy explosive throwing game. The Seahawks couldn't get any first downs, 14 first downs, 25 by the San Fran. That says a lot right there. Time possession is old. That's basically time possession right there. 38 minutes by the San Fran, 21 for Seahawks. So it was a one-sided game in a way.
I do want to shift just a tad. QB power up the middle is asinine. Shanahan should be ashamed of himself. Your quarterback is a quarterback. Your quarterback is not a running back. You're not running powers up the middle 3 times in the first quarter. Unacceptable, and it is the coach's fault that Trey Lance got hurt. I don't know if there's something fishy going on here or what, that they never traded Jimmy G, and now all of a sudden, I'm not going to put my tinfoil hat on, but completely unacceptable. Completely unacceptable from the coach to be running plays like that. You're not going to run that with Jimmy G, are you?
No.
Why change the playbook? Just in case you guys were, questioning my thoughts on Jimmy Garoppolo. He's a winner. He gets it done. He makes the playoff. Here's Jimmy Garoppolo's stats in the playoffs. 60%, 160 yards per game, 4 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. They win in spite of Jimmy Garoppolo. You put a better quarterback on this team, they're 2-time champions already. When guys like Debo, Kittle, and the great defense that they've always had have always been there, and they've been the ones performing, it's Jimmy G that's a winner. What exactly does he get done with 4 touchdowns and 6 interceptions? What exactly is he getting done? Are the 49ers winning, or is Jimmy Garoppolo winning? Ask yourself and get back to me.
Should we be concerned about the reigning Super Bowl champs?
At this point, absolutely. I mean, I was willing to write off the loss to the Bills. It's ring night. It's a lot of emotions. This was the Falcons, man. And the Falcons ain't good. Your quarterback play has significantly declined, and that is scary if you are the Rams. Granted, you got what you wanted. You got your Super Bowl. But with a team that is, on paper, a contender again, possibly the favorite, that is a bad start for the Rams. You look at the record and you're like 1-1. It's whatever. A lot of teams are 1-1. You barely escaped the Falcons, and you got smoked by a Super Bowl contender. When your quarterback's turning the ball over more than he's finding the end zone, they might just be in trouble. Listen, they made it interesting, and you know what? If the Falcons make every game interesting, I'm with that, but just keep losing. 1-16.
1-16. Payne's gonna get something right for his prediction.
I'm gonna get a T-shirt if they go 1-16. I'm putting it on a T-shirt.
Matthew Stafford putting on the average performance. Marcus Mariota putting on the Marcus Mariota performance. 17 for 26, 196 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. So it's a fairly equal play overall. I think we should be worried about the Rams, like you said. I don't really have nothing else to take away from them, but the fact that they just need to clean up their offense and keep that ball. This is one of the things that I'm starting to really question. Like, was this really a great decision for Russell Wilson? Is like, what is the problem with Denver's offense? Because I feel like they got a pretty decent, solid squad on that offensive side of the ball.
The problem, Jalen, is very clear, and it is the head coach. You can't defend Russell Wilson's 14 for 31 performance. Bad day passing the ball for Russell Wilson. Nathaniel Hackett, I am questioning so many moves that he makes. It just seems like he second guesses himself. He makes bad decisions. He went for it on the 1-yard line last week. Lost by 1. Kicked the field goal. You win by 2. I'm no math teacher like my dad, but it seems pretty obvious to me. The decision he made to end the game last week, which of course we didn't talk about because it was Monday Night Football, but
Monday Night Football, yeah.
Bad decision from Nathaniel Hackett. Instead of trusting your $250 million man, You're going to kick from 63 yards. Yesterday, it got to the point in Denver where the crowd was chanting the countdown of the play clock. It was a 3rd and 1, maybe 3rd and 2. They handed off to a guy who has 1 carry in his 3-year career, fullback. They don't get the first down, and then on 4th and 2, they get a delay of game on the field goal because he's not sure if he wants to go for it or not. So he takes too long to send the field goal team out. They get a delay of game, and they end up punting. The crowd started to chant down 5, 4, like it was the Royal Rumble. He's got to go. They were booing their home team in the home opener. The crowd was booing them. And sometimes it was the decision made by the coach, but it was a horrible performance out of Russell Wilson. He did make the winning play, throwing a touchdown. Give him that. This type of performance is unacceptable. The coaching decisions are unacceptable. A close game like this to Houston is unacceptable.
Peyton, by all means, can you apologize? Can you apologize to Kyler Murray?
No.
Oh.
I still stand by what I said. I said a little. I didn't call him, I didn't call him Jared Goff. I didn't call him Baker Mayfield. I mean, I said a little bit, It's just we put him on the elite list last year after a couple games, and he's not on the elite list. It was a hell of a comeback. He played great. He played ridiculous in the comeback. How about you talk to me a little bit though, Jay? 3 points in the second half in overtime from Vegas.
Don't talk about it.
I mean, what's going on here? 0-2?
0-2 from Vegas. And it's not even a bad game from Derek Carr. 25-39, 252 yards, 2 touchdowns. It's clearly our defense just decided to not show up in the second half. I mean, neither did our offense because we didn't score anything at all.
Jay, the thing is, though, like Derek Carr did have a good performance, but second half, let's take a look. 3 and out, field goal, 3 and out, 5 plays and a punt. And then that's it. It couldn't have been handed to Arizona any better down the stretch. Like they were doing nothing. 0-2 start in that division might just be enough.
Not looking good.
Might just be enough to eliminate them. They're playing in Tennessee next week, and we're still yet to know about Tennessee. Then they got Denver and Kansas City. That might just be 0-5, but with the talent that the Raiders have, it could be 3-2. This is make or break. The next 3 weeks are make or break. Right here, you'll know all you need to know about the Raiders season by October 10th. Going back to Arizona, Kyler Murray, 31 for 49, 277, touchdown interception, 5 carries for 28 yards and a touchdown. The numbers don't look ridiculous, but you got to deep dive. You got to watch the plays that he made because when you have a quarterback that's mobile like this, he does things that not many other players can do. And with his legs, he's evading, he's getting free, he's keeping plays alive, he's finding people in the end zone, or he's running for touchdowns. I'm not going to apologize for calling Kyler a little overrated.
Don't apologize.
Like, a little. It was a little. This was a choke. And Kyler Murray made the plays that he needed to, but they were given a lot more chances than they deserved because of the Raiders' lack of discipline and Hunter Renfrow.
Not wrapping up either because
Hunter Renfrow must have had popcorn going into overtime, I guess.
This is controversy right here. Ready to call the Bengals run a fluke. Was that a fluke?
Listen, we said it on the show right after the Super Bowl when we recapped. We said it was a little bit of luck. They're very fortunate, but fluke is a little much. To say that, Joe Burrow's lighting the world on fire and he's a new superstar, that was too much. The run itself, it happens. Teams get the ball to bounce their way over time. I mean, Tom Brady's made a 25-year career out of it. It's just a bad start for Cincy, and they said that they fixed their problems, and they didn't, clearly. Joe Burrow's getting sacked 6 times this week and probably 7 last week. Joe Burrow had 5 turnovers last week and none this week, but he did only have 1 touchdown, under 200 yards. And damn it, you lost to Cooper Rush.
America's quarterback, Cooper Rush. His stats are phenomenal, man. The guy went for 19 for 31, 235 yards and a touchdown. He said, Dak Prescott, who? You paid that man all that money for what? Joe Burrow is like 24 for 36, 199 yards, a touchdown. He didn't throw an interception, so that's not the worst thing in the world. The problem is they only made it to the red zone once, and they converted when they were in the red zone, but they only made it once. And in the rushing game, they didn't break 100 yards. So that goes to show like it's hard to move the ball in the air, to air the ball out when you're not moving the ball on the floor. But I wouldn't call it a fluke. Like I said, by week 4, week 5, if I don't start to see these changes in the teams, then that's when we can definitely start to set in stone on how we feel about them and where they're what this season is looking like for them.
Right. It's just a
Um,
it's an ugly start for Cincy, and
yeah.
the people that were skeptical are having a field day right now. I'm still not gonna call it a fluke, but I mean, it's looking real bad right now. Real quick, we
Oh,
do want to mention, Aaron Rodgers
forgot about that.
continues to own
Irrelevant.
Chicago. I did say, let's not overreact to Week 1 because it happened last year where they got smoked. Aaron Rodgers was frustrated, came back and won. It's a great way to bounce back against Chicago. Here's a little interesting note about the Bears. Out of all quarterbacks this year, Justin Fields week 2 and week 1, the 2 least amount of passing attempts in the NFL. Out of all performances, all 64, Justin Fields is 63rd and 64th. The least amount of passes thrown out of all quarterbacks.
He threw the ball 11 times.
11 times. They had their moment. They had the lead, which is maybe a moral victory for Chicago because they just continue to get owned by Green Bay. So having the lead might be as good as a victory for them. Expect the Packers to continue to do what the Packers do. Expect Rodgers to continue to do what Rodgers does. We don't really have much to say about this game. We figured it would happen. Shout out Aaron Jones just dominating on the ground. Aaron Rodgers coasting to a victory, 19 for 25, 234 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
There's really not much to say about it. This is a little new segment to end the show because we don't get to recap Monday Night Football. We don't get to recap Thursday Night Football. New segment called Deciding Factors. We got 3 games, 2 tonight, 1 on Thursday. I'm going to ask Jalen what he thinks is the biggest deciding factor for the team he thinks is going to win the football game. We're going to start Bills-Titans. Jalen, who's going to win and why?
I got Bills Mafia all day. I think the deciding factor is that Josh Allen is going to play another phenomenal game. The Titans defense is not going to be able to keep up with this team. And then honestly, I don't think the Titans offense is going to be ready for the Bills defense also. So that's definitely where I am. It's one-sided for me right now.
Moving on to the 8:30 game tonight. Who wins between the Vikings and Eagles, and what is the biggest deciding factor?
That's actually I like this. This is a dope game. One, let me start by saying that both 1-0. I'm gonna take the Vikings only because I'm not too sure about Philly's defense. The Vikings offense is a very great offense. Justin Jefferson is absolutely disgusting.
The start of week 3, we have Steelers-Browns on Thursday Night Football. Jalen, who wins? What is the biggest deciding factor?
I'll take the Browns. Only because I don't think the Steelers offense is not a thing right now. So that's definitely my deciding factor right there. Straight simple forward. The Steelers offense is already struggling. The Browns have a really great defense. Like you said, they've always had a great defense. And if their defense comes out to play, then it won't take much for Jacoby Brissett and the guys on the offensive side to get the job done and put some points on the board.
Talk of the Town, episode 12, the Tom Brady episode, week 2 Sunday recap. Hope y'all enjoy watching. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. Check out the top link in the description for all Talk of the Town segments and full-length videos. We will see y'all next Monday.